Hey guys, welcome back to the CCC. If you were looking for us yesterday, remember we're going to Tuesdays and Thursdays now, so we're sorry to have disappointed you, but here we are on Tuesday, back with a cocktail that I think is going to knock your socks off, or at least it knocked mine off when I had a few last night when I found it and liked it a lot.
By the way, how does one define a few?
Yes.
Moving on.
I think this is a really great cocktail. I think that its backbone is that of a Boulevardier, which we've done weeks and weeks and weeks ago with you guys. That's a definite classic cocktail that has, you know, ratios, and that anywhere you go, any bar, any restaurant, they would know what that is and they could make you one. This is sort of a fun riff on it that is totally made up that I found, you know, scrolling on Instagram one day. So you cannot order this anywhere. This is sort of a totally made up cocktail, but it's the same backbone as the Boulevardier. It's just in place of sweet vermouth, which you guys know we just don't like to begin with. They used Amaro Lucano.
This guy right here, yep.
And Ancho Reyes. And Ancho Reyes, I mean, you guys know we swap in Averna all the time for sweet vermouth, but the addition of Ancho Reyes, I thought, was interesting. Interestingly, I don't have Amaro Lucano in the house. So
we did a version. What did you use last night?
So when I was taste testing this for you guys, I did it with Amaro Maletti, but I know that you guys probably don't have Amaro Maletti floating around your house. So today we're just going to sub in Averna for it, which I think the profile is very close to Amaro Lucano. So I think it definitely works.
Yes, and as you can tell from my bottle, and I have been messing around with some Amari over the last year or so. I have not had this a ton. I think I've used it maybe once or twice. It wasn't like super memorable. It hasn't replaced like Nonino or Averna or Chinar or some of those ones I use all the time. So I'm looking forward to using it in a recipe that if it's good, you know, something that maybe will move to the front line of my Amari selection. Can we go back to your comment on Boulevardier? I want to play a little crossfire with you though.
Oh Lord.
No, because this is something that I actually discovered. So do you know the first, 6 months I was drinking Boulevardiers, Marcy and I both, in fact, it's actually her favorite drink more so than a Negroni. I personally did not realize that it's not just like a Negroni, but subbing out rye for gin, but the ratios are different.
The ratios are different, yeah. I mean, you got to go heavier in the bourbon.
Right, but my point is, when you're saying that most bars, it's one of those drinks you can get anywhere, I have found actually, I've even asked bars and I've ordered it, and it's tasted different because now I know what it tastes like when it's heavier on the rye. And I've asked bartenders or at a restaurant, asked the waiter to find out, and they didn't know. They actually were doing equal parts. So I would tell you that a good third, if not more, of the ones I've ordered, doing a little recon, they actually go equal parts vermouth, Campari, rye. So.
But I guess it's evolving as a new classic. How's that?
Oh, it's absolutely a new classic. There's no disagreement there. I'm letting our audience know that if you're making this at home, don't do what I did, and for months and months, just make it like a Negroni, but sub out the rye. You actually do need to double the rye to the Campari and vermouth, or in this case, the other ingredients.
It's 1.5, 3/4, 3/4 instead of 1, 1, 1. Yeah, I just was pointing to the fact that I think all of our drinks fall under two headings: either a classic real drink, or like a newer version of a something. You know, like a creative thing that you're not going to find everywhere. And this is one of the more creative ones, was my point. The other thing that I wanted to show you guys, because this is one of my absolute favorite bar finds ever, and I know I say that a lot, but this one's really cool. A lot of people are having a hard time getting into the Campari. And people are saying, we're trying, it's really bitter. And I just wanted to tell everybody, I think I'm finally getting there, and I can drink Campari now, but for a long time, I was infusing it with cacao nibs. Now I still find that I enjoy it a lot infused with cacao nibs, but I had just infused some coffee beans with my Campari, and I wanted to show you guys this because it's my fancy, awesome infuser, and I think what makes it so awesome is that the infusion is on the bottom, not the top. Most of the times when you infuse things, you know, the infuser thing's on the top, so you have to dump your whole bottle in if you want to infuse it. The infuser's on the bottom, so you can do just a little bit of Campari just to try it if you want.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Is that on your website?
Brilliant. And I mean, I have had this for a long time. I love it. It's on my website because I love it that much, and I want everybody to try it. I've used so many things in there. I think it's amazing. But my point is I am making this recipe today with coffee bean infused Campari.
Question though, that I have, and I'm sure others will as well. So it's let's call it a Monday, and you put in cacao nibs or coffee beans in there. How long is it taking before you can actually taste the difference?
Depends on what you're putting in there.
Well,
Coffee beans, probably 12 hours.
nice. Okay.
I mean, theoretically, I should have strained it out and put it in something else. But to be honest with you, I'm lazy and I've left it in there and it's still got the coffee beans in there and I don't care.
All right.
I mean, sometimes if I make something that I really do like, I'll make a bunch of it and I'll put it into a decanter. But if I'm just tasting and trying things, I'll do just a little bit to taste and try it. I mean, you don't want to waste an entire bottle of something on something that's
I think a design profile is perfect. And I'm admittedly a little jealous on that one. I don't have one of those guys.
You have one of these?
I do not.
Jason's birthday's coming up, everybody.
Just gonna say.
It comes in all different, this one's the like rose gold one, but comes in all sorts of different finishes too. Let's get to making this glass, and we are gonna mix this because all of our 4 ingredients are liquor. So we're stirring, not shaking.
Unless you're James Bond.
Yeah, but he's just wrong.
We actually just watched Skyfall 2 nights ago, and I thought of Ricey in the CCC when he ordered one, and he actually didn't say it in this one, but you see her shaking.
She was rolling her eyes at him while she was shaking.
All right, we start off with the main spirit of rye. So 1.5 ounces. And then 3/4 Campari.
Or in my case, coffee infused Campari.
Fancy pants over there. And then normally you would use 3/4 sweet vermouth here, but as we talked about, this is a variation or a riff. So we are doing 1/2 ounce of Lucano Amaro.
I'm using a Verna, and you guys can too.
And then one of our favorites, Ancho Reyes, 1/4 ounce. So that 1/4 and 1/2, the two combined are equaling what normally would be sweet vermouth.
The flavors in this are awesome, right? I mean,
Yeah.
It's got Amaro, it's got the bitter orange, it's got ancho for a little heat, a little spice. I threw in some coffee just for, shits and giggles. This is going to be yummy.
Yeah, and I know most of our audiences didn't have Lucano, but there's, what would you say, 100 different Amari out there, probably 20 that are relatively easy to find. I will say Amari are typically really inexpensive other than Nonina, which is around $45 to $50. Most are in like the $17, $20 range. And I think they're fun to play with. It's like having like sort of a grown-up version of what you have for bitters, right? Bitters are small. They're just, it's like salt and pepper. This is certainly more of a key ingredient in cocktails, but I think it's nice to take a cocktail like a Boulevardier and just change out the different Amari and get the different notes and flavors. So I'm glad we're doing this one.
I love doing that. I flip them out in and out in Manhattans all the time. That's my favorite way to play with Manhattan. Okay, for this cocktail, I'm going to use one of my giant ice balls. That's super clear, super round, super awesome ice ball.
Since you are showing off, I have to come back with something. So I know I've used it once before, but I'm bringing my favorite Campari. We'll let that sit on there for 30 seconds or so. Do you have one?
It's mine.
Yeah, but yours is round. Is it going to hold?
I don't know. Let's see. All right, we're letting our ice stamps do their job.
All right, guys, remember, larger ice if you have it to stir so we don't dilute too much.
Oh, wow.
Right? All right.
Amazing. Put over your clear ice. God, I'm so excited. Just use your wide peeler. You can see my orange has gotten a few cocktails out of it. Squeeze it, just sort of twist it and squeeze it to express the oils. I'm going to trim down my orange peel so it's fancy and pretty.
Somebody's getting thirsty over here. You better hurry.
I know. I'm sorry. Now it's very pretty.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Thursday. So again, reminder, coming baking back on Thursday, we're going back to agave. We're also bringing back amaretto, which from some of the feedback we got, I think was a pretty good call a few weeks ago, kind of doing that updated take on the amaretto sour. So we're bringing amaretto back along with tequila, pineapple. So good summer cocktail, fresh lime juice, and egg white. So we will see you guys Thursday.
Now, since we're back staying at home, there's nothing to do besides sit home and drink again. So we're right back where we started.
See you guys Thursday. Cheers, Rice.
Cheers, Jason.